Hey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm making a show.
A show?
A show.
What about?
A show about what we do here at Magenta, the Magic School, bits and pieces. I'll talk a bit about tarot and Lenormand and having readings and what the hell do the cards mean. Just general jibber jabber. General jibber jabber about magic.
Sounds cool.
Pretty much. So, yeah. Do you want to say hello?
I did to you.
Like a hand. No.
I think the world can live without seeing my hand. Hearing my dulcet tones should surely be enough.
All right. So, shall I just be the face of
the
the school?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And you're just in the background?
Background support guy.
Background support.
Yeah.
Like one of those like black t-shirt people that you see at gigs.
Yeah, exactly. Or an emotional support human.
My emotional support human. Yeah. You are that.
All right, cool.
All right.
To it. Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye the world.
Thank you. So this is just our first dip into what we hope will be a series of really interesting and entertaining videos or podcasts, depending on what channel you're receiving us through. Obviously, it's not our first venture into videos. This is how we deliver our magic school. So our Magic Discovered course is only accessed through our videos. But we wanted to sort of take a step back from just writing blogs and articles. And so we thought, how else can we be more open to the different ways that people might wish to access information about what we do here at Magenta? So we've had a think and we thought, do you know what? We will venture out into the world of shows, episodes, and try to deliver our material through different means. Try to get people when they're on the bus on the way to work. Try to get people while they're cooking in their kitchens. Try to get people at 2 a.m. when they're just surfing on YouTube. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to have 8 episodes in this first series where we're not going to overcommit. And plus, it's fair to manage your expectations about how many shows we're going to produce, but also we can't overcommit our time. We've got very busy day jobs, and so we have to be able to deliver on what we've said that we would like to deliver, both for ourselves and obviously for you, our lovely audience. So this is our first show. And I think what we'd like to do with our first show is to talk a little bit about what is magic for this first one, and we can then build on this as we get into the other episodes where we'll talk about the wheels of the year, various festivals that might come up. We'll talk a little bit about Lenormand. We'll talk a little bit about tarot. But for this first one, it's pretty much a broad brush. So we're going to talk about what is magic. So for us here at Magenta, we like to think of magic as being a philosophy and art of affecting intended change through unseen causes. We believe that it's a craft that someone learns. You don't necessarily have to be born magical in order to have a magical life. But we do believe the more it's practiced and studied, then obviously the better at it that you will be as a practitioner. So when we look at that, what do we mean by it's a philosophy and art of effecting intended change? So let's break it down a little bit. All right, imagine you're at home and you're hungry and you think to yourself, oh, I could really do with a plate of biscuits. And then you get up and you go to the kitchen and you get some biscuits. Is that magic? I mean, you've effected change. You've thought about how to stop hunger, and so there was a bit of a philosophy in there, a bit of a belief that food will be in the kitchen and receiving that food will stop your hunger. And there is, to a certain extent, a bit of an art form, because you've thought to yourself, you've put a communication out there into the world. In this case, you may have imagined a plate of biscuits in your head. But I think the fundamental question to ask is, was that change affected through unseen causes? We would argue it probably isn't. But what if you thought to yourself, oh, I'm really hungry, I could really do with some biscuits. But instead of you going to get those biscuits, imagine somebody came into the room with a plate of biscuits. I mean, how did they know to do that at that exact moment in time? Is that magic? Potentially. Now, of course, this scenario is very, very simple. There's way more to magic than just wishing for biscuits. So the philosophy behind it and the art are both very important. And so we would suggest it does take a lot of time to practice and learn. And there are so many different approaches to magic. So from our perspective, we've come through the Wicca route through to the magic that we deliver to others now. So a lot of our magic has been influenced by Wicca. But we wouldn't say that we taught people how to be Wiccan. That's not us. We're definitely not Wiccan. We do identify as witches first and foremost. So we teach people about magic. We teach people how to cast a spell. We do have an intuitive approach. So it'll often be very improvised. Something will just come through to us that, oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, let's add that. But we do encourage everybody to develop that way of thinking, that kind of style. Now, as we said, our style did develop from Wicca, but we're not Wiccan. It has been inspired by other religions and other practices and belief systems as well. So as a result, we do blend these philosophies and arts. So when you look at our website, magentaschoolofmagic.com, or when you look at our stuff on YouTube, you might recognise that some of these things, you can find them in chaos magic, for example, or you'll definitely be able to find it in Wicca, maybe Thelema. You will recognise certain practices that might come from astrology. So if there are any astrologers out there, you might recognise some of the things that we're talking about there. Some of our methods actually do come from Renaissance magic. But it's not all about magic. I mean, it is, but we've got a very unique approach. We like to add in techniques to everything we do through the school, through the spells that we write and that we publish on our website, through the tarot card readings that we give. We add in extra techniques that you'll find in things like humanistic counselling and neuralistic programming, in order to give that kind of personal development flavour that we like to think is quite unique to our style of magic. We think it certainly makes our Magick Discovered course very impactful. It makes it as positive as possible. So this is why we like to manage people's expectations, to say we're not a Wicca school. We won't teach people how to be Wiccan, but we will definitely teach you how to embrace change, positive change. And using magic to do that is absolutely one of our unique offerings. So we share our philosophies, and we invite people to read our website, listen to our podcast now, watch our videos, have a look on YouTube, and then invite into your lives the things that you think make sense to you and resonate with you and match your own values. So we have, what do we offer? At Magenta, we've obviously got the Magick School. The Magick School lives on our Udemy platform. Well, it's not our Udemy platform, a Udemy platform. So with that, with our Magick School course, with our course Magick Discovered, you would sign up to Udemy, and the best bit about it is it's there forever. So, for example, if we were to increase our prices at some point in the future, if you've already got the course, it has no impact on you. It doesn't matter. You've paid what you paid for it. It doesn't mean when you sign up to the course, you have to do the course right there and then. It's there for as long as you use Udemy. So it could be there for life potentially, which is really great. And we say that because with our magic, we're so minded to move away from the old ways of thinking that were very, how do I put this delicately? They were birthed from a very patriarchal, masculine beginning. We're trying to move away from that. We don't want to be gatekeepers to people feeling that they are empowered enough to cast a spell or empowered enough to read tarot. That's not us. That's not our bag at all. We don't want to be gatekeepers. So with the Magick Discovered course living on Udemy, you could, in theory, rattle through that within a few days and you're done. You know what you need to know by doing that course. Equally, if you needed to take your time with it, you absolutely could do that. You could pause and reflect, practice, do the coursework that we set, give us time to mark it, and then you could move on to the next bit, and that would take you as long as it needs to take you. We don't really subscribe to the idea that everybody will learn at the same pace. We don't subscribe to the idea that absolutely it will take you exactly 1 year and 1 day before you could call yourself a magical practitioner. We find that a bit gatekeepery. It has no basis in reality for us as people who have learned things and have taught other people. Everybody learns in their own way and at their own pace. Some people do pick it up a lot quicker than others. I think that pressure of having to know everything exactly in 1 year, that's an enormous amount of pressure. Equally, if you do get it and you are a quick learner, why should you have to wait for somebody else to say, yep, good enough? We don't feel that we're the right people to do that, whatever we're teaching. It's your journey. You know when you're ready or when you're not ready. And that's as much as we can do, really, is just to show you this is what we learn, this is what we've done. If you feel confident, that's happy day for us, and we hope that you do. So With the Magick School, we've got that on Udemy. Anyone can go and look at that. It costs at the moment, it costs $59.99 to sign up for that. That is what we call our beta test. So it's in beta at the moment. There's no guarantee it'll stay at that price. We do run flash sales through the year. So 8 times a year to match up with the Wheel of the Year, we will offer coupon codes. So keep an eye out for those if $59.99 is too far out of your bracket. Have a look, follow us on social media, and you'll get access to those coupon codes that match up with the festivals and the Wheel of the Year. So what else do we do at the Magick School? We offer tarot and Lenormand guidance, which, as you would expect, is more aligned with personal development, less about fortune telling. It's not that we do that, because we absolutely could. Our preference is to offer personal development or some kind of personal guidance through the tarot cards, rather than when you will get that ace interview, when you will succeed at your career. I mean, we do that, but it's our preference to be able to tweak it slightly so that it gives you the power. What tools can you use in order to get that ace interview, in order to get that amazing career? That's kind of our little slant on that. We're not unique in that. There are loads of people that read tarot in exactly that way. We think probably gone are the days of the end of the pier show kind of fortune teller-esque, very stereotypical approach to tarot. I think a lot of the world has moved on from that, and thank goodness. Our website has got a lot of articles, free spells, we've got loads of videos, you'll get access to our social media from there. Anyone's obviously welcome to read our website and take away from that any of the information that they wish to. It's all completely free. Anything that's on the website, you can read it, you can digest it, you can have fun with it, you can download those spells for yourself, practice them. Just, tell us how it goes. They don't cost money, but tell us how it goes. How does it work for you? Which bits did you keep? Which bits did you add in? We're always really interested in knowing how people have amended what we've offered to make it fit them. That's amazing. That's exactly what it's all about. So a lot of what we do actually comes from our Book of Shadows. This is our personal Book of Shadows that sits with the Magick School. Within the Book of Shadows, it's like a portal. So every page in the Book of Shadows is an invitation to find out everything you can about that subject. So that is our approach. When we developed Magick Discovered, that was our approach we took. We were also the next step in what else can I learn about this. So on one of our pages, for example, we might talk about the Wheel of the Year. So in the Magick School, it really gets into the nuts and bolts of what that actually means. So everything that exists on our website comes from our Book of Shadows. And then we will often link back to our Book of Shadows through our casting spells page that exists on magentaschoolofmagic.com. Within the casting spells page, actually, you'd be able to see how our unique take on the correspondences that we use align with our magic. For example, the colours that we use, they will align much more with psychological models. We think that is actually unique to us. We welcome anybody else who says, oh no, I'm doing that too. We just haven't found anyone who's doing it that way. And what we mean by that is we took Maslow's hierarchy of needs because that really speaks to us as humanistic counsellors, as NLP, neuralistic programming practitioners. That model really spoke to us about change, about human development, about trying to make things more positive for yourself as a person. That's how we connected our magic to it. So things like the colours, so the colours of the spectrum or the colours of the rainbow, for example, we overlay that hierarchy over the top of those colours because that really cemented the power in those correspondences with us. Similarly, we pull an awful lot on astrology. So we believe that system is so old and so powerful that we can use that kind of collective consciousness in order to power what it is that we're trying to do when we're pulling down power from the moon or power from a planet. That's how we connect our magic, and you'll be able to find a lot of that information over on our casting spells page. It's very detailed, but we hope it's enough for a start of a 10 for people to understand what it is that we're getting at, especially when you download the spells and we've got very specific timings in there. You know that where it's coming from is a connection back through to astral magic. You might get some peculiar requests for using certain coloured candles. Well, you can just have a quick check back on the casting spells page in order to understand, all right, that's where that's coming from. That's because it's at this level in the hierarchy and not a different level. So that's just some of the things that we do here at Magenta School of Magic. And obviously, with our 8-show season that we're about to start, you'll be able to check back in. We hope to be able to release an episode maybe once a fortnight, maybe slightly more if we get time to do that. But yeah, just check back in with your podcast platform. Check back in on YouTube if that's how you're choosing to watch us today. You'll be able to subscribe to us through that platform that you're accessing in order to get the latest episode just as it arrives. But that's it. That's our show. So that's it. That's our show. If you liked it, give us a rating and a review. Share with others. Tell your friends. You'll find all our contact stuff over at magentaschoolofmagic.com, including our social media and links to the Magic School itself.